For decades, the standard in global automotive engineering was clear. Building vehicles requires orchestrating the most complex machines on Earth at incredible speed. Within that ecosystem, India's primary contribution was execution. Indian engineers machined, stamped, and assembled the physical components. But the brain of the engine, the electronic control unit that decides how a vehicle starts, breathes, and runs, came from a short list of giants like Bosch, Shindenden, and Denso. This established a specific hierarchy. The physical hardware could be manufactured anywhere, but the foundational intellectual property remained the domain of Japan and Germany. To understand how that hierarchy was challenged, we have to look at the physics of electric motors. Every electric machine shares a specific operational requirement. In this diagram of a spinning electric motor, the computer must know the exact microsecond position of that spinning rotor relative to the stationary coils. If the computer loses track of that position, the motor stalls. Engineers typically solve this by embedding physical sensors, Hall sensors, directly inside the motor to track that movement. But hardware is vulnerable. When you expose those sensors to real-world elements like dust, water, and heat, they eventually fail. On demanding roads, this specific mechanical breakdown is the single most common cause of motor system failure. This physical limitation creates a ceiling on reliability. As long as the system depends on mechanical parts to track movement, the motor remains susceptible to the very environment it is meant to navigate. The solution emerged from a lab at IIT Bombay. A team of professors and engineers approached the sensor problem by stripping it down to its physics and first principles. They developed sensorless control, or SLC. It replaces the physical tracking hardware with pure mathematics. The algorithm calculates and infers the exact position of the rotor without needing a physical sensor to see it. Removing the physical sensor eliminates a mechanical point of failure, which increases the reliability of the machine while simultaneously reducing manufacturing costs. The team took a hardware problem and replaced it with an elegant software solution. In the automotive industry, a mathematical theory only matters once it survives the physical world. SEDEMAC found their proving ground on the high-heat, demanding urban roads of India. They deployed the algorithm inside an integrated starter generator, or ISG. Today, this technology runs inside millions of Indian three-wheelers and scooters. This chart shows the adoption of ISG-equipped vehicles in India. In a single recent fiscal year, SEDEMAC captured over 80% of the growth in this segment, displacing the global competitors who once held the lead. Powering 10 to 12 million vehicles moved the technology from lab prototype to a battle-hardened reality. As the industry shifts toward electric vehicles, traditional engine component makers face a structural threat. But SEDEMAC's technology is indifferent to the disappearance of the internal combustion engine. The SLC algorithm governs motors, not engines. It applies to any machine that spins. When they applied the math to electric two-wheelers, they became the only company running sensorless control at this scale in the EV micromobility sector. The math is universal. The dominant maker of home standby generators in the United States now uses SEDEMAC's controllers as the standard in key models. It is also moving into global construction, controlling the motors inside millions of battery-powered heavy tools. The logic of sensorless control makes the technology relevant to any industry that needs a motor to spin, from scooters to construction sites to home infrastructure. There are real constraints. Every controller requires imported semiconductor chips, leaving the company dependent on global fabrication chains that can tighten without warning. While SEDEMAC holds a multi-year lead, global rivals are actively attempting to replicate their sensorless technology. But the core objective is the same as it was on day one: produce fresh control technologies and see widespread adoption. By putting a foundational algorithm inside 10 million vehicles, SEDEMAC has demonstrated that world-class engineering disruption can be designed and scaled directly from Pune.
If you like our video, please like, share, and subscribe.